Dear students, I am Raghavendra HM, Assistant Professor of English in Government First Grade College, Tumkur. In this video session, I am going to present you chapter 8 and 9 of the novel Animal Farm. This novel is prescribed for the third semester BCom, BBM and BCS students who are studying in third semester of Tumkur University. This is also going to help all the students in general. In this chapter, I am going to present you the luxurious lifestyle of the leaders of the animal farm, including Napoleon, Squealer, and other pigs. This reminds of the life of communist leaders of Russia during the revolution. How these leaders violate the seven commandments of animals is also discussed in these two chapters. Now, let us have a smaller recap. In the previous video session, you came to know how the construction of the windmill was carried out and also how the windmill was destroyed by storm. Napoleon, Squealer, and other pigs blamed Snowball for the fall of the windmill. Actually, it was destroyed by the storm, but the blame was put on Snowball. Then you came to know how reconstruction of the windmill was proposed, how Napoleon ordered the reconstruction, uh, how Boxer, Clover, and all animals worked very hard to reconstruct the windmill. Even the food shortage was also discussed in the last video. And you came to know how one by one Napoleon and other pigs are violating the seven commandments of animalism. First of all, they started trading with human beings, they started using money, they started sleeping in beds, one or the other. Somehow they violated many commandments. Above all, they ordered, Napoleon ordered the killing of a few animals in animal form, which was strictly against the principle of not to kill animal should not kill other animal. This commandment was violated by Napoleon. Now let us move on to chapter 8. Animals were made to work very hard. They felt that Mr. Jones was a better owner. So, for reconstructing the windmill, all the animals had to work really very hard, the too in empty stomach. They were not given food to the fill and the work was too much. So in the previous video, I have told you they were ordered to work even on Sundays and 8 hours extra every week. But food was in shortage. So they now were completely disillusioned by the revolution, the animalism, and everything. All the principles, ideology are falling down here. They felt that the human owner, Mr. Jones, was better than the present owner, that is Napoleon. Napoleon was no longer a comrade. Next, animals are so upset over changes made in seven commandments. Yeah, that was G9. Rebuilding of the windmill now starts. The hard work without any food, nothing. So they were really working hard. But at the same time, Napoleon, he was leading luxurious life. His birthday was celebrated with a lot of grandeur. So many songs were written and sung in praising him by especially his his right hand man Squealer and others. So he was leading a luxurious life. His followers like Squealer was leading a luxurious life, and all administrators, that is pigs, were actually leading a very comfortable, happy, luxurious life. But in general, animals were suffering a lot of hardship. Animals finished the construction of the windmill at last. Napoleon continues to sell the farm goods, especially timber, eggs, hay, etc., to human beings, especially. So, which was really against the commandments of animalism. Pigs begin to use money. Again, the violation of seven commandments. So, money should not be used. That was there. Never, the old major had put the commandment that human beings only you human being money is used only by human beings, not animals. Animals should not use money, but now Napoleon started using money. Frederick, the neighboring farmer, attacked the animal farm, and destroyed the windmill using gunpowder this time. So, and again, another huge misfortune struck animal farm. For the first time, the windmill was destroyed by storm. Second time, it was destroyed by Mr. Frederick, the owner of the neighboring farm. He attacked the animal farm to take over the farm with his supporters, and he used this opportunity to destroy the windmill with using gunpowder. He blasted the windmill by firing the gunpowder. Of course, he was defeated by animals, and he was driven away from the farm. But they were so sad. Animals were so sad because they had reconstructed the windmill with a lot of sacrifice, and now it was destroyed. Next point, next stage, pigs started drinking alcohol, which was against the fifth commandment. See, pigs, that is, the leaders are becoming worse and worse day by day. Now they started using alcohol, which was a great sin. So, which was only human beings used to drink alcohol. Now the pigs were taking the place of human beings, and they started drinking alcohol. The other face of the communist Russia is revealed through the behavior of the pigs in animal form. So it's a fable, it's an allegory. By giving the example of animals, pigs especially, yeah, pigs in the animal form, George Orwell is actually exposing the falsehood of communist leaders after the revolution. Napoleon is actually referred to Stalin. So, Stalin started trading with what we call capitalist nations of Europe and other countries, which was against to the principles of communism. This was chapter 8. Now let us move on to chapter 9. Next, during the winter, animals were again reduced the food because the food was in shortage, and Napoleon reduced the ration further. All of them were fed only half stomach, except dogs and pigs, because pigs were the leaders and dogs were their protectors. So, except dogs and pigs, all animals were starving. Next, in April, the animals decided that they will declare animal farm a republic. So, actually, not the animals, but Napoleon and his supporters declared that animal farm would be named as a republic, and Napoleon, of course, the president of the Republic of Animal Farm. So it is a mockery of Russia. That's all. Very important point. Moses, a raven. I think you remember. So Moses was a raven. He returns to the farm with the talk of sugar candy mountain, that is the animal heaven. So Moses represents the religious class in communist Russia. Actually, communism never supports religion. But now, as communism is what you call deteriorating, now Moses enters again to the animal form, and he started discussing about heaven, hell, and all these things. Especially, Moses mentions something called as sugar candy mountain, which is nothing but a heaven for animals. Again, another very important incident happens in animal form. Boxer, the strongest animal in the animal form, falls down while working for the reconstruction of the windmill, and he was told that his lungs were failing him. Then a van comes, and animals thought it was going to take Boxer to the hospital. He was carried to the hospital in a van, and animals thought he was carried to an hospital. But unfortunately, later on, they came to know that the van was not a hospital van, but it was a butcher's van. That means Boxer was carried to be butchered. See, even they could later on remember what was written on the van. It was written Alfred Simons, horse slaughterer. Later on, they remembered what was written on the van. Earlier, they thought it was a hospital van. Even Squealer, after a few days, declared Boxer was dead at the Wellington Hospital. The hospital brought the van from the slaughterer and hadn't remarked the sight. Animals mourned Boxer's death. They were very, very sad because Boxer was such a selfless, hard worker in animal form. Now, next stage comes. The pigs were now addicted to alcohol. Day by day, all pigs started consuming alcohol. Now they were completely addicted. See, what you can see here in this chapter, the impact of totalitarianism is exposed through this chapter in Russia. The episode of Boxer's treatment is a satire on Stalin's treatment of the labor class. So, as it is already mentioned, Boxer represents nothing but labor class in Russia. So, communism always supports laborers, but here Stalin neglected the labor class, and Boxer's death and slaughter represents nothing but Stalin's bad treatment of labor class. Then Stalin and his followers made people remember Tsar Nicholas' luxurious life. See, in the name of laborers, in the name of farmers, the government which came to power, that is the communist government which came to power in Russia, completely neglected the labor class, and then they started leading life like a capitalist or king Russia. In the Russia, king of Russia was called the Tsar. So the Tsar Nicholas was notoriously famous for his extravagant, luxurious life. That is why the Russian Revolution happened under the leadership of communist leaders. But now the same communist leaders completely neglected the people of Russia, and they started leading a very luxurious life. They were the new czars. So this was a short analysis of chapter 8 and 9. Thank you. Let me continue in the next video session. Thank you.